Hello and howdy ho everyone, Foxy Games here, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV full story playthrough. And isn't this a familiar sight? Nanamo, in, well, the outfit that we met her in when she was in disguise underneath the Sultan tree. Let's go ahead and speak with her. Perchance you remember Lilira, the merchant's daughter. This is the persona I assume when I venture beyond the palace walls to observe my subjects unnoticed. Ordinarily, Papashan would accompany me, but for this particular outing I need an advisor, not a minder. And that is why I requested your company. Over the course of your many adventures, you have met people from all walks of life in every corner of Eorzea, and I would make use of your worldly experience. Now let us be on our way. Our first destination is Stone's Throw, just beyond the Gate of Nald. And of course, we will follow along. Looks like somebody else is on the same quest as us. Look upon this procession of tattered tents. These refugees camp in squalor, at the mercy of the elements and Thanalan's predators both. The city's mighty walls offer safety, but the streets overflow with people as it is. And unless blessed by the hand of Nald himself, no refugee could ever hope to afford a dwelling in Ul'dah. 20 years have passed since the fall of Alamigo, and 5 since the calamity. Yet the plight of the poor has grown more desperate, not less. As Sultana, the blame falls upon me. You've done your best, Your Grace. Then my best has not been good enough. Shall we press on? I would follow the road to the unholy air. I mean, when you think about it, the Syndicate is just as much to blame. You may be Sultana, but you don't have absolute power. It was here, in this wholly unremarkable place, that my mother and father met their doom. Oh, wow. I was but a child at the time. My parents were returning from an inspection of our interests in eastern Thanalan, when an untimely rockslide crushed their carriage. To this day, it is not certain if the incident was simple misfortune or an expertly planned assassination. Ralban once offered to reopen the investigation and bring me the truth he assumed I must surely crave, but I refused. Even if my parents' deaths were orchestrated by the monetarists, we could have only brought their hirelings to justice. The true villains, those who plotted to put me on the throne as a biddable puppet, were ever beyond our reach. Thus did I plan to strip the merchants of their power and place our nation in the hands of its citizens, quite unaware of the consequences my actions would have for you and yours. I shudder to think how many goodly souls paid the price of my own naivety. But I am no longer a child reciting words with witless obedience, and I will not be used as a pawn in the monetarist's damnable games. Forgive me my outburst. You are one of the few people to whom I feel I can speak my mind. Come, let us return to Ul'dah and visit the Colosseum. No trip out to the Sultan tree? Well, that's okay. Back to Ul'dah we go. From the moment I became Sultana, I found myself thrust into an endless parade of document signing and ceremonies. For years, I simply signed where I was told to sign and sat where I was told to sit, blissfully oblivious to what any of it meant. Yet one good thing did come from that ignominious chapter of my life. For it was during an official visit to the Colosseum that I first met Ralban. The match I had been invited to attend was not at all what I expected. They had pitted the Bull of Alamigo against some dozen or so rival gladiators. Blinkered though I was, I would not stand for so obvious an injustice and demanded to see a fair fight, one man against another, and my royal wish was duly granted. It was not until later that I learned of the gambling ring which had arranged for Ralban to die on the sands that day. Regardless, my intervention meant that Ralban had but a single opponent to dispatch, which he duly did, and when he knelt before me to receive the winner's purse, he swore that he would one day offer me his blade in service. Surrounded as I was by liars and manipulators, I confess I dismissed it as a pleasant piece of theater. But as you know, Raoban is a man of his word. Though it took him another 5 years of fighting on the Blood Sands, he amassed a fortune so great as to buy not only his freedom, but a seat on the Syndicate. And then I had my blade. The echo reveals all.
Your Grace, you mustn't! The danger is too great! Please, Your Grace, come back! I beg of you!
It seems you're the one who needs looking after, Master Sham. Raoban!
Your Grace, I have kept the promise made.
So you have, and in turn, so too shall I keep mine. With your winnings, you have become one of the 6 most wealthy souls in all Ul'dah. And so, as tradition dictates, Raoban Aldin, you have earned yourself a seat on the Syndicate. May your new station garner you still greater glories.
I am honored, Your Grace, and vow to serve with every fiber of my being from this day till my last. Long live the Sultana, and long live Ul'dah!
Well, that was an adorable little cutscene. Words cannot well express what that man means to me. There are others who care deeply for my well-being, of course. Papa Shan's love for me is that of a grandsire for his grandchild. But upon matters of governance, I cannot turn to bodyguards and maidservants for counsel. Raoban, with the authority of his syndicate position, was the first sword I could wield. His was the only edge which could cut the strings that bound me. We don't need any of that stuff. We must make haste. My absence will not go unnoticed by the Sultan Sworn for long, and there are other places I would visit. To the Arzaneth ossuary. Where is that? Oh, the Thaumaturge's Guild. I didn't know that area had a name. When the calamity threatened, Raoban led the Alliance forces into battle on the plains of Cartano, and I remained here. I prayed with all my heart that Archon Louis would have the power to rouse the 12. Since that day, I have made a custom of visiting this shrine during each of my little excursions. Here I seek the blessing of Thal, reflect upon my choices, and ask myself if I am fulfilling my duties as Sultana. You are rightly celebrated as a champion because you have led the line in 100 battles for the good of Eorzea. In much the same way, I believe the measure of a monarch lies in how she leads her people in times of adversity. If I am to be a sultana worthy of the name, I cannot turn a blind eye to the troubles facing Ul'dah. I have chosen my path, Foxy. With Ala Mhigo now freed from Imperial chains, I finally see a way to aid the refugees. Already, many displaced Ala Mhigans seek to begin the long trek home. To facilitate that process, I have made a small contribution, an artisan school in Ralger's Reach, for any who wish to learn new trades. Realistically, however, it will take years for such training to yield tangible benefits. But we do not have years. These people will need shelter and employment if they are to survive, and this time the Ul'dah treasury shall provide. Precisely where and how to allocate the necessary funds is, of course, another question. We could ask the Syndicate, which is probably a bad idea, or seek the advice of one who employs refugees. A wise suggestion. Mayhap a visit to the Gold Saucer is in order. Its proprietor is a member of the Syndicate, and he is one of the few who pay refugees a fair wage. Ah, we're gonna see good old Godbert again. I wonder, are you acquainted with Godbert Manderville? Intimately so. Then I need not explain his eccentric nature. Let us make way to the landing, and I will see that word is sent to the Gold Saucer. Godbert should be only too glad to receive us. I suppose this is a good time to actually get there. Yeah, to gain entrance to the Gold Saucer, you must first accept or have previously completed the quest It Could Happen to You. Yeah, in all our time here playing Final Fantasy XIV, we have yet to take this quest and go to the Gold Saucer. And that's that quest right there, so we'll go ahead and just quickly run over. The Gold Saucer is a place of games, gambling, mostly just scratch-off tickets because I believe, and don't quote me on this, but I believe it's not legal to have casino-esque games in video games in certain countries. I'm not sure if that's true, but I remember hearing that somewhere. Here we are. It could happen to you. Do be careful with those. Break anything and I shall be forced to deduct it from your salary. Beg pardon, what is my loyal manservant carrying? Why, a not-so-small fortune in prizes, ably won by yours truly in the Gold Saucer. You have heard of the Gold Saucer. Nay, ye gods, woman, you might at least try to keep up with the times. It's only the Sultanate's newest and finest place of entertainment. Well, it's not quite new anymore. Thrilled to the sight of majestic birds roaring down the straits at the Chocobo races. Pit your wits against your peers at the Triple Triad tables. At the Gold Saucer, one can do all this and more. And if you know what you're about, you'll walk out a wealthier woman than you entered. If there's a better place to shake off one's cares after a grueling day of promenading, I've never heard of it. Did I mention the prizes? Ah, but I dare say you'd rather discover them for yourself. Yes, I'll wager you're wondering just how in Thal's good name you can experience the wonders of the Gold Saucer firsthand. Am I right, or am I right? Ha! I thought as much. Well, since this has been my lucky day, I don't see why it shouldn't be yours too. I just so happen to have a spare golden airship ticket, you see. Consider it a gift from me to you, milady. Just show that ticket to the fine lady over at the landing, and you'll have a seat on the next airship bound for revelry and riches. Be fairly warned, though. You may expect no mercy from me should our paths cross at the Triple Triad tables. Nay, not so much as an ounce. Ha ha! Well, I see where he got his fortune. Yes, Triple Triad is a card game. I don't know if I've actually gone over that little bit. Never really had much of a reason to. It's the same card game that is to be found in Final Fantasy VIII, and it is quite addictive in some ways. I don't really play it in FF14, but I played the hell out of it in 8. Oh yes. This is the reception desk for flights bound to the Manderville Gold Saucer. Before proceeding, I must ask that you submit your ticket for inspection. Ahem, you do have a ticket, yes? Of course I do. It appears that everything is in order. An airship will be departing shortly before the next bell. Shall I reserve a seat for you? We're not going there just yet. I have ridden aboard a public airship before, but this shall be my first visit to the Gold Saucer. I must confess to some excitement. Alright, probably should have done that in the other order. Why it looks like a giant cactuar, I have no idea. That looked almost like a Manderville pose. Yes, if you can't see where the Mandervilles got all their money, or perhaps where it all went. Alright, yes, we know all about the Gold Saucer. Why do I have to talk to you? World of Wonders. Oh yes, we might as well do that. Nanamo is up ahead. Welcome, honored guests, to the Manderville Gold Saucer, where your wildest dreams are ever but a card or a chocobo beak away from coming true. If this is your first visit, nothing would please us more than to give you a full tour of our establishment, that you might enjoy its wonders to the fullest. At the conclusion of the tour, it is our custom to offer our esteemed patrons a complimentary gift straight from the vaults of our illustrious proprietor himself. Consider it Lord Manderville's way of personally thanking you for your patronage. Should you wish to take the tour, pray proceed to the main counter over there and speak with the receptionist. On behalf of the management, may I take this opportunity to thank you for choosing the Gold Saucer. Rest assured, my colleagues and I will spare no effort in seeing that your visit is pleasant and profitable one. May fortune smile upon you. Of course, we might as well take the tour. This place is definitely, well, it's opulent as hell. We'll make Nanamo wait for a few minutes. Welcome, traveler, to the Gold Saucer. This is the main counter, where you can purchase tickets for the mini Cacpot, acquire and redeem Manderville Gold Saucer points, and much, much more. But what in the world are Manderville Gold Saucer points, I hear you cry? A most astute question, and one which I shall be only too happy to answer. But first, if I may direct your gaze to the left. Beyond those majestic gates, you will find Chocobo Square, home to the Chocobo Racing Circuit. Aye, what Chocobo owner has not dreamed of pitting their fleetest bird against the realm's finest in a pulse-quickening dash for fame and fortune? Truly, it is the sport of sultans. And should you desire a more elaborate contest of strategy, you will surely find it in Minion Square, at the Lord of Verminion tables, where would-be generals pit armies of minions against one another in battles for honor and glory. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, the Manderville Gold Saucer points. Put simply, MGP, as we call it for short, is a currency by which dreams are bought and sold within these halls. But my associate here beside me can tell you more, including how to go about acquiring some MGP of your very own. Pray speak with him and continue your tour. We will do so. So you're about to experience the wonders of the gold saucer for the first time? How I envy you. But before you venture forth, you'll want to exchange a share of your gil for MGP, a service which it is my great honor to provide. With MGB in your coin purse, you'll be able to enjoy all the fabulous attractions we have to offer, and all the wonderful games. If you play them with skill, you'll find your little stack of points increasing 10, 20, even 100-fold. Now that you know the fundamentals, you are ready to step out onto the floor of the gold saucer. Your tour will continue at Card Square to the southwest. The card trader there will be your guide. I would, of course, be happy to exchange some of your gil for MGP before you venture on, while my associates and I strive to leave nothing unexplained. There truly is no substitute for first-hand experience, and I heartily recommend trying your hand at our many amusements for yourself. Of course, we will buy some MGP. What's the maximum? 500? Oh yes, you can only buy up to 500. So you can't just buy enough MGP to buy prizes. There's 5,000 gil, chump change for somebody such as myself right now. And we will, let me see, Cactpot. Oh yes, we should speak with the Cactpot broker as well. Welcome, welcome, fair traveler. Care to test your luck with a mini Cactpot ticket? Of course. Splendid, miss. Now allow me to explain. Mini Cactpot is a game of chance, available to you thrice every day. Playing is simplicity itself. Just guess the value of the covered numbers to win it big. If Namia's grace is with you, you'll be rewarded with Manderville gold saucer points galore. So, miss, do you feel lucky? Alright. So, I will explain it better than this. Oh yeah, we got, what did we just get? Oh yes, this gives you 100 MGP. And I see no reason not to use it right now. Yes. Alright, so we don't need to read all that shit. So basically, you see these sums here and these prizes in these columns. Essentially, you want to go either horizontal, vertical, or diagonal to reach this sum, or any number of the high winning sums, but 6 is the one that you truly want. If you get that, you get 10,000 MGP. So there's a 4, and there's a 5. You get to uncover 3. Yes, yes, yes. You get to uncover 3 lines. Then you have to choose which one you want to uncover. This is the only one that gives me a chance to win 6, so we're going to do this one. And, well, we didn't. But we did get some MGP anyway. Generally, you will always win some MGP, more than you usually put in. So let's do that one more time. Ooh, a 1, I like that. A 5, I don't like that. Let's go the middle here. A 2. Well, it's either the top or this one, so let's go with this one. Well, we won 180. That's lovely to me. And not everyone is going to give you the opportunity to win the big pot. And we can play one more time today. So scratch here, and scratch here. This has the best chance to win, so let's do it. 36. Oh well. So I have, in many cases, won that big 10k before. Let's see, the triple triad dealer. We don't need to speak with everybody here. Sorry, Nanamo, I'll speak with you soon. Well, aren't you just the sweetest thing? Welcome to Card Square, home to the triple triad tables. What's triple triad, you ask? Why, only the mind-bending, pulse-pounding, maddeningly Moorish card game that's taken the realm by storm. But don't take my word for it. Behold. Can you not feel the tension in the air? Form a hand of 5 cards and play the role of a field general sending your bravest into battle. Should you wish to learn the rules and experience the excitement for yourself, you need only ask. Start today and we'll even throw in some complimentary cards to help you on your way. You can face off against a single opponent at any time, or if you crave an even greater test of your skills, take part in one of our regular tourneys. And believe me when I tell you, there's no feeling quite like standing triumphant on a battlefield after vanquishing all comers. You really should try it. A minute to learn, a lifetime to master. That's triple triad. Ah, but I'm getting carried away. You have a tour to finish. Wonder Square is your next destination. Not that there's any hurry, of course. If you'd like to play a hand or two before you go, you need but say the word. We will not be playing triple triad right now. Perhaps, at some point in our adventure, we will stop to play some of these wonderful, wonderful games. I will be playing some of them off camera, as it were, in order to get certain prizes. These prizes being glamours, different outfits, and dances and things of that nature. Things that you don't really need to do for story playthrough, at least not on camera. You look lost, honey. Why don't I show you around? It'll be nice to talk to a woman for a change. Oh, yeah, I imagine you get a lot of looks in that outfit. Feast your eyes on Wonder Square. From gripping games and awe-inspiring attractions to the finest in fine dining and the freshest of refreshments, there's no end to the wonders housed within these halls. And let's not forget the most wondrous of them all, El Colosso, as we lovingly call our mammoth cactuar mascot, is the star of some of our most popular events. Suffice it to say, you won't want to miss them. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, let me interrupt by saying this shit here with the stained glass reminds me of Kingdom Hearts. Anyway, now I know what you're thinking. With everything going on at the Gold Saucer, how could I ever hope to keep up? But you needn't worry, my fellow gatekeepers and I will always be on hand to see that you don't miss a thing. For the continuation of your tour, I've been instructed to direct you into the waiting arms of my colleague Valeda at the Cactpot board. She's one of our most popular girls, and once you meet her, I'm sure you'll understand why. Well, ta-ta for now. By the way, should you ever want any of these, decidedly risque outfits, you can buy them as prizes. So, on to the large Cactpot board, different from the mini Cactpot board. This is a weekly game that can earn you a much larger prize, but it's also much harder to win. Which way was it? Oh yeah. Oh yes, and I have been neglecting the Ethernet shards that you can get here. Whoops. Anyway. Ah, there you are, my darling. I've been waiting for you. I'm Valeda, and I'd like to personally welcome you to Event Square. The most spacious of all the areas in the Gold Saucer, Event Square is a veritable cornucopia of pleasure and delight. Doubtless the sizable stage in the middle of the square has caught your eye. That is the scene of some of our most sensational attractions, so don't be shy about taking center stage. And after the curtain has fallen, why not try changing your life forever? At the Jumbo Cactpot, all you need is a handful of MGP and a head full of dreams. Just choose 4 numbers and cast your hopes to the heavens. You never know just when Nemea will smile down upon you. Now, as much as I've enjoyed getting to know you, I'm afraid it's time for us to part. The next and final leg of your tour takes you to the round square. Don't think too hard about the name, my darling. Even I'm not sure it's supposed to make sense. She's adorable. Oh yes, let's go ahead and unlock the Jumbo Cactpot Broker. Is that a... Oh, it's a Rogadin. I thought it was a dude, but then again, Rogadin women do look rather mannish. Welcome to the Jumbo Cactpot, where the Eorzea of your dreams is only 4 digits away. Can I tempt you with a ticket, miss? Of course. Excellent, let me enlighten you as to how it all works. First, you purchase a Jumbo Cactpot ticket from me, then you pick your 4 lucky numbers, any from 0 to 9 that tickle your fancy, and inscribe them upon your ticket. After that, simply wait till we announce the winning number to see if you have any matches. Check your digits from last to first. The more matches you have, the more Manderville Gold Saucer points you'll win. If all your numbers match, then ding ding ding, you've hit the Cactpot. You'll receive an embarrassingly large number of MGP and an extravagant prize besides. And with the jumbo cacpot, the more participants there are, the grander the prizes become. Just imagine how many MGP you'll stand to win if all your friends and allies join in on the fun. When the time comes to draw the winning number, look no further than the lovely cacpot cashier. She will provide you with everything from first prize to consolation points. Last but not least, I will be here to assist you day or night if you are ever at a loss. So, this resets it's drawn every Saturday at 10 p.m. And then we have until the following Saturday at 10 p.m. to claim any prizes that we may have won. And I'm sure I will promptly forget to collect it every single week, but we will still buy it anyway. So we are going to purchase a ticket. So we're going to pick a random number, why not? And each ticket costs increasingly more MGP, which is perfectly fine. Okay, and that's all finished up. Hopefully I don't forget. Now there is an event going on in here, and I don't see why we shouldn't, well, try to get in. When Master Typhon's nose blows, whither the mucus flows, nobody knows. Can you read his motions and seek safe haven from the oncoming tempest? If you think you have what it takes to be the last one standing, then step right up. And if you do get caught in a squall of sputum, hey, there's nothing to lose but your dignity. Yeah, sure, we'll do it. Why not? Alright, here we are. That should put you in your place. Let him have it, Master Titan. Or Typhon, rather. I can't move. Why can I not move? Oh, here we go. Oh. Is it random? Oh, it is random. It's a game of red light, green light. I mean, it's nice to have a little fun once in a while, isn't it? Oh, wow. That one just barely hung on. You know, maybe it's better to stay toward the middle. But I've been doing quite well so far. Oh, shit. Oh, how come they could move? Oh, well. Well, I got 1,600. I'm okay with that. Anyway, that's enough fucking around. Let's grab this Ethernet shard. Oh my god, it's a potato. Are you the first-time visitor I was told to expect? 1,000 welcomes to the Gold Saucer, and 1,000 welcomes to Round Square. How can a square be round, you ask? I'm not sure I understand the question. Moving on to more important matters, is that lofty peak not a sight to behold? That is Mount Coral, the main attraction here at Round Square. One of our most thrilling events, pit our customers against each other in a challenge to see who can most swiftly scale its heights. I tell you, the view from the summit is a sight to behold. And that concludes your tour of the Gold Saucer. While I'm sure you're eager to start enjoying yourself, pray do not forget to return to the main counter and claim your complimentary gift. She's so cute. Alright, let's get an Ethernet shard, and we will return to the front counter. Welcome back, honored guest. I trust you've come away from the tour with a greater appreciation of all the Gold Saucer has to offer. As a token of our appreciation for your patronage, it is my great pleasure to offer you a complimentary gift from the personal vaults of our esteemed proprietor. Well, knock me down with a chocobo's tail feather. Is that a new customer I see? Ha ha! I could hardly have picked a better time to drop in for an impromptu inspection. Master Roland. Yes, this lady here has but this moment completed her introductory tour.
Is that so? Well, then allow me to personally welcome you to the Gold Saucer. I am Roland, good madam, the fellow entrusted with overseeing the daily affairs of this fine establishment on behalf of our esteemed proprietor, a great man if there ever was one. You are an adventurer, yes? Aye, your dress and bearing told me as much. I dare say, then, that on your travels you have seen firsthand the difficulties which yet plague our nation. Witness the struggles of Alamigo's displaced masses, and those whose homes were consumed in the fires of the calamity. The Sultanate is not unsympathetic to their plight, of course, yet how can one begin to provide succor to such countless multitudes? Every solution to the problem has only served to raise more questions. One man had an answer. Godbert Manderville had a dream of a house of untold wonders that would provide stable employment and lodgings to the displaced, mirth and merriment to the disconsolate, and prosperity and plenty to the Sultanate at large. To many of our patrons, the Gold Saucer is merely Eorzea's foremost entertainment venue, a place to forget about their cares for the day. To me, it is one of the founding stones upon which our realm will be rebuilt, a miracle wrought by the hand of the greatest man I have ever known. Something tells me you understand that which I have told you, that you, perchance, share a similar dream, but I shall keep you no longer. The Gold Saucer and all its wonders await you, friend. Pray enjoy them to your heart's content. Till we meet again, may the spinner's pull be ever kind. And if it was anybody else in the Syndicate preaching that kind of nonsense, I probably would have said, nah. What's this? Redeem for 1 free play at any of the mini attractions. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. We'll hold on to those. But since it's Godbert, and we know he's a good man, I'm willing to believe it. Anyway, I had heard descriptions of its splendor, yet I had never dreamed it would be so bright and inviting. No, I couldn't possibly. We did not come here to fritter away the royal coin. Godbert will be expecting us. Come, let us head directly to the lounge and ignore these gaudy temptations. Oh, Nanamo, you just want to have a little fun, admit it. You might be a noble, but you're still... I want to say human, but you're a Lalafell. But then again, there are no actual humans in this game. I mean, they look like humans, they're called something else. Where the fuck? Oh, upstairs, of course. What are the humans called in this? Hyurans, that's it. They're basically human. You know, the humans were actually called Humes in Final Fantasy XII and XI. I'm glad they changed the name. I believe this is where we're to meet Lord Manderville. Shall we sit while we await his coming? My apologies, Your Grace. I have kept you waiting.
No apologies are necessary, Godbert. My request was sudden, and you were kind to make yourself available at such short notice.
When my son's good friend and the Sultana herself come calling, there is no more important engagement.
As to the purpose of my visit, I would have your thoughts on how the Crown might best aid the refugees residing in Thanalan. You are aware, I am sure, that many of Alamigo's displaced sons and daughters long to return to their newly liberated homeland, and you are also aware of how they will suffer without shelter and work to sustain them. I would use our nation's wealth to spare them from that suffering. What advice have you for me on the matter of how it might best be distributed?
The unusual circumstances of our meeting, and your Grace's choice of companion, would suggest to me a desire for an honest and unvarnished opinion. I shall give you one. My advice to you is stop. Taxing Uldar's wealth to save Alamigan refugees is a terrible, terrible idea.
You oppose my proposition?
Most emphatically. I agree with your Grace that the refugees must have housing and employment, but what profit is there for Uldar in this arrangement?
Profit? After all you have done for Girabanya's displaced, I thought you the very last person to seek to benefit from their misfortune.
Forgive me, your grace, but you appear to be laboring under a misapprehension. It is a fine endeavor to support one's fellow man. I fear, however, that your stance is one born of pity. Your intent is to save the refugees, is it not? For all our potential, we are indolent creatures by nature. If unconditional charity is all we know, then we begin to rely upon it, to expect it. And then we must consider Ulda's own poor and downtrodden. Should they hear of you spending the nation's coin, not to improve their lot, but to nurture the distant citizens of Alamigo, it is unlikely they will applaud your generosity. Surely it is not your grace's intention to foster new resentments, but to spread goodwill.
Indeed. Then any support I pledge to the refugees must promote self-sufficiency, while also serving the interests of the people of Ulda.
Exactly so. Such an arrangement will create a far more equitable relationship with the returning Alamegans, even as it generates the revenue required to win the approval of your subjects.
You have given me much to ponder, Lord Manderville. I thank you for your candor.
We love Godbert. Good to see he's getting on just fine and not worrying over much about where his son might have gone. Oh, Hildebrand, where did Gilgamesh take you?
Prophet, the thought never even crossed my mind. But standing about lamenting my naivety will not do anyone any good. I shall consider my lesson learned and press on. Foxy, are you perchance acquainted with any successful merchants? If my attempt at philanthropy is obliged to reap a profit, it would seem wise to consult someone with an knack for business. Ordinarily, I would not trust any agent of the East Aldenard Trading Company, but if you hold this Hancock fellow in high esteem, I am content to be led by you. You may repay my faith by journeying to distant Kugane and speaking with him on my behalf. Eager though I am to visit those shores, I have not the leisure for a lengthy sea voyage. Now, assuming you will travel as adventurers are wont to do, I shall await your report by the Aetheryte in Ulda. A fair journey to you, Foxy, and a swift one, if you please.
Twist my arm a little bit, why don't you? We'll be quick, we'll be quick. We'll be back to the Gold Saucer, one of these days. Hancock is here. Where's Tataru? Foxy, to what do I owe the pleasure? Or are you here on business? I beg your pardon. Her Grace the Sultana would have my opinion on how best to invest the wealth of Ulda. My dear Foxy, I have you to thank for this recognition, I am sure, and I am flattered that you came to me, truly flattered. But why settle for a lowly apprentice when you could have the master? Upon matters of profit, there is no living soul better qualified to advise Her Grace than Chairman Lolorito, a man whose morning exertions are said to fill his garter-robe with gold. I should be happy to arrange a meeting for you, say at the Scion's former headquarters in Thanalan. The Waking Sands would seem a suitably neutral venue for negotiations, don't you think? Fare you well, Foxy, and may your dealings prove fruitful. Oh, she is not going to be happy about this. You will not find a shrewder merchant than Chairman Lolorito. Wait, why can't I say that name? Lolorito. Jesus. Would that I could be present to witness the back and forth of your coming negotiations. Oh yeah, I'm sure they'll be positively explosive. And I'm positive that Nanamo will have some choice words for the chairman. Nanamo, I've got news. It's not the best.
Welcome back, Foxy. Did your merchant friend have any useful advice to share? With Lolorito? And you agreed to this? I am well aware of his standing in the field of business, but I had hoped to keep the monetarist at arm's length, and him in particular. Nay, I cannot live in fear of the man. I must learn how to treat with him if I am to rule Ul'dah effectively. Very well, I will meet with Lolorito. Let us go on ahead to the Waking Sands and prepare for his coming. Pray return to the Waking Sands, as the old meme goes. Oh, wow. The game did us the favor of teleporting us here. So this is where the Scions first congregated. I have heard many tales, but never had occasion to visit. To work, then. The hour of the meeting draws near, and I would gather my thoughts. Pray see to it that we have the appointed room to ourselves. So many memories in this place.
A personal summons from the Scions. This must be important business indeed. Though, if it concerns anything so underhand as an assassination, I fear I can be of little help. You have made your point. 'Tis indeed unsettling to find oneself seated across from an impassive mask. There, would this better please your grace? Or should I address you as Lady Lilira?
Nay, the deception has served its purpose. I am glad to see you found amusement in my little jest, Lord Lolorito, but shall we proceed to the business at hand?
By all means. I must say I am most eager to hear your proposal.
Simply put, I would aid the refugees camped in Thanalan in their efforts to return to Alamigo. The reparations you paid in the wake of your earlier misdemeanors will be used to fund the endeavor, together with the fortune seized from the late Teleji Adeleji's estate. But this plan is not intended to benefit the displaced alone. I would make of this an investment which shall enrich Ul'dah and Alamigo both. And who better to consult on matters of profit than the wealthiest man in all of Thanalan? I beseech you then, Lord Lolorito, share with us your mercantile wisdom.
Ah, 'twould seem your grace has matured beyond acts of earnest yet misplaced charity. Pray tell me more. To summarize, in return for facilitating the repatriation of refugees and assisting in the establishment of new industry in Alamigo, you ask that a proportion of all subsequent profits be promised to Ul'dah. Ha! I am impressed, Your Grace. 'Tis an elegant solution, albeit one lacking certain crucial details, specifically which industry and where.
How swiftly you identified the weakness in my plan, just as I knew you would. Your travels have taken you across the length and breadth of Gir Abania, and you know the land far better than I. Which of the settlements you visited would best provide a home for our refugees? Which has the greatest potential to flourish, given the appropriate investment?
Well, Alagana had the quarry, I don't know what Alighieri had. But then there was the Saltery. Bricks or salt? I'm gonna say bricks, honestly. I don't know if that's right.
Yes, a quarry town certainly does carry the potential for profit. At least it would do were it situated anywhere near a lucrative market. It would cost more to transport the materials than they are worth, in my humble opinion.
Then we'll say the Saltery. Why not?
Ah, yes, that desolate little village on the shore of Loch Seld. I know the Saltery and its products well. The Imperial invasion brought an end to their more widespread distribution, much to the dismay of many a wealthy gourmand, myself included. Salt has ever been a transformative ingredient, and in this instance, I dare say, it could transform a modicum of effort into a mountain of gill.
The local citizens will need to be consulted, of course, but I trust the East Aldenar Trading Company can be relied upon to provide its assistance in negotiating a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Naturally, Your Grace. I shall dispatch representatives well-versed in the extraction of this white gold and wring every last ounce of profit from its production. The Loch's bounty will contribute to Alamigo's enrichment, whilst easing the burden on the bull's aching shoulders. Just as Your Grace desired.
A deal is struck then.
Well, it seems we've finally put the matter of Lolorito's little, incident behind us. I feel it will be many years before I feel comfortable taking part in such negotiations. But I shall not complain. We have piqued Lolorito's interest and secured his invaluable expertise. Thank you, Foxy. I could not have done it without you. Glad to help. Our course is decided. I shall return to the palace and have my ministers begin working on implementing the particulars of the plan. If I could prevail upon you one more time, Foxy, I would ask that you convey the details of our negotiations to Commander Hext on your return to Alamigo. My thanks again. Together we have laid the groundwork for an endeavor which promises to benefit the peoples of Alamigo and Ul'dah both. You need not accompany me back to the palace. I will have Papa Shan arrange an escort. That is, if he hasn't already organized a search party. I've been absent for rather long indeed. Rather longer than intended. Oh, Papa Shan. You really need to let your Sultana stretch her legs a little, though I can hardly blame him for worrying. Ah, you guys are all here. Whiskar's here as well. Welcome back, Foxy. How was your audience with the Sultana? In your absence, I have kept myself busy cataloging the riches of the Mad King's trove and calculating its worth in gil. I have some way to go, but the figure is already quite staggering. Good. Oh, greetings, Foxy. I'm actually in the middle of reporting to the commander here, so... Foxy, you're back. What did Nanamo... Oh, sorry. Are you allowed to talk about your audience with the Sultana? Very much so. So, Raoban says he's going to return to Ul'dah, but she isn't sure he wants to. Huh. Tell us something we don't know, but I'm pleased to hear she's committed to helping our refugees come home. And this plan to revitalize the Saltery does make a lot of sense. Quite how you convinced her to seek Lolorito's help is another question. After all that has happened, he is the very last person I would expect her to turn to for advice. But on a more practical note, Lys, assuming the interim government elects to accept Ul'dah's proposal, I have one caveat I should like you to include in that bargain. Alamigo must be permitted to cover a portion of the investment. We have a fortune at our disposal, after all, and allowing Ul'dah to provide the entirety of the capital will afford Lolorito too much control. Honestly, Alphino, it's like Kugane never happened. What exactly does a ruthless profiteer have to do to earn your trust? But yes, you do make a good point. First things first, though, we need to discuss this proposal with the Saltery's residents. Whiskar, how do you fancy explaining the Sultana's plan to your grandfather? I'd like to hear what Watt thinks of the idea before agreeing to anything. Right away, Commander. Would you mind coming along, Foxy? I might need you to fill in the details. Then I shall come as well. Should Watt wish to discuss figures, my knowledge of the nation's finances may prove useful. God, didn't I say I'm always doing this shit at night? Look, it's already 8 p.m. again. It was like 9 p.m. the last time I looked at the in-game clock. I'm leaving the business of dividing up the treasure to those who know about such things. I'm not proud to admit it, but every time I see a column of numbers, my eyes glaze over. One of these days, I'll have to ask Alphino to explain it all to me. I'm not good with numbers either, Arnvald. I'll have to give Nanamo my thanks next time we meet. With this and everything else that's been happening, it really feels like things are gathering pace around here. You'd be right. Things are starting to move very quickly. But that's a good thing. At least I hope. Oh god, why do we have to listen to this music again? Let's go and see Granddad. He's going to want to hear this. He's right here. Ideally, one would want Alamigo's stake to match Ul'dah's for Gil, in combination with a cast-iron contract that should serve to prevent Lolorito from making off with all of the profits. I mean, Lolorito is the most wealthy person in Thanalan. I really doubt he's going to say, oh yeah, give me all of it. Just to avoid any of the dirty looks that he'd be getting. I mean, he's already under a lot of scrutiny. What manner of mischief brings you young'uns to Old Watt this time, eh? They want to rebuild the Saltery, Granddad. Foxy, tell him about the deal. Well, bugger me. We never had the coin or the hands to put the place back into how it was. But it sounds like that's about to change. There's just one small wrinkle in your plan. It doesn't account for all the nasties queuing up to eat anyone who goes near the shore. The king used to send soldiers to call the buggers, but the Imperials weren't about to help the likes of us. Don't worry, Granddad, we'll take care of all that. Commander Hext has been talking about starting up regular patrols, and I'm sure she'd assign me to the lock if I asked. I'd appreciate that, Whiskar, my lad, truly I would. So, does this mean you've gotten better with that blade of yours? I've been training, but mostly to kill Imperials. You've got some experience hunting monsters, don't you, Foxy? Think you could cast an eye over a few of the local beasties and teach me how to deal with them? I don't see why not. Let's not waste any time, then. I'll see you by the lock. While you're busy attending to the local fauna, I shall have Master Watt explain to me exactly what is required to restore the Saltery to its former glory. Good hunting. Let's do so. Oh, literally right over here. Right then, Foxy. I've got a spyglass here you can use to take a closer look at these pests. Once you've got their measure, you can tell me what to do, and we'll see how well I get on. Oh boy. What is with this expansion and this spyglass thing? What have we got? Yabby's weak point. The tail? Oh my god, what? The jaw? The Abbey's entire body is protected by a hard carapace, but the underside of the head looks soft and vulnerable. Ah, looks like you found a Yabby. They say hitting their shells like smacking a rock. Any suggestions?
Just hit it as hard as you can. No. Aim for the soft underside of the head. Vulnerable under the head, are they? Right then. Wish me luck. Can't even animate it. Ugh. Thanks, Foxy. I did just as you told me, and the wavekin went down like a sack of popotos. Let's find something else. Must we? Ah, there you are. I think I can handle the yabbies now, so we should try something different. What else is out there? Well, let's find out. Oh, this thing. The Phobad. Well, its eye is a likely target. The Phobad's hands are large and powerful, but destroying its crystallized core should render the salt golem inanimate. You sense power pulsating from behind its brow. Ugh, a Phobad. How do I defeat one of those? Destroy the core within its brow. You could also tell him to hit it as hard as he can, but that's dumb. Inside its head, is it? I'll try to stab it right between the eyes, then. I do wonder what happens if you give him the wrong choice. Does he get killed? It's not easy, fighting with the Liberator of Alamigo watching your every move. But I got the job done. Thanks for the advice, Foxy. I feel a lot better and better prepared for my patrols now. Any road, we should head back to the Saltery before Granddad starts to worry I've been snipped into pieces and fed to a Yabby's hatchlings. Ah, with me at your side, you have nothing to fear. You're not the snappy little shit that we saw when we first came to Alamigo. For the merchants of Ul'dah, a well-constructed contract is both sword and shield, and Watt must understand this if we are to meet them on an even field. Speaking of battles, does Whiskar seem equal to the task of thinning the Loch's monster population? He certainly seemed eager enough. Let's hurry up and tell Granddad how the hunt went. It'll set his mind at ease. Indeed it will. I see you have returned in one piece. Dealt with those beasties then, did you? I fought them myself, after a bit of instruction from Foxy here, like. Once I've shared what I've learned with the others, we should have no trouble keeping the shoreline clear. Good lad. A fine young man you've become, Whiskar. A fine young man indeed. Too often of late I hear tales of folk over in the city, drunk on victory and hungry for revenge, their heads stuck firmly in the past. But we need to set our sights on the future, on things which will improve our lot. Things like getting the Saltery ready to welcome our long-lost countrymen. Good. At least he has a forward-thinking way. It'll be nice to have some resistance lads and lasses around to watch over us. No one wants to worry about being dragged into the loch while you're just trying to get an honest day's work done. Granddad and his friends are already hard at work. The rest of us can do no less, eh? It seems Whiskar has the Saltery's security well in hand. I, meanwhile, have discussed the next steps with Master Watt and completed my inspection of the site. With a little work, the vacant buildings here could be made into very presentable dwellings. Message from General Aldin. Apologies for the interruption, miss, but the General would speak with you at your earliest convenience. Do not feel obliged to wait around on my account. I will remain here to hammer out the finer details with Watt and act as an intermediary with our business partners in Ul'dah. You should go. General Alden asked that you wait for him by the main gate in the Alamigan Quarter. My apologies again, miss. Fare you well. Always being pulled away, it seems. Pray leave the administrative tasks to me. General Alden will be waiting. That Alphina's a bright lad, isn't he? I told him what we'd need to repair the place, and he tallied up the total cost on the spot. And it weren't a small number, either. Well, good thing we found all that gold. I'll ask Commander Hex to assign a squad to patrol the Saltery's harvesting and fishing spots. And I'll be sure to tell him what you told me. Awesome. We leave this place in your capable hands. All three of you.
Apologies for the wait. People are screaming for the butcher's blood again. No sooner have we broken up one mob than another forms. Thankfully, all have been amenable to reason, thus far. But it is no concern of yours. We must speak of the men Arenvald and his comrades apprehended in the peaks.
By their uniforms, the captives were first judged to be Imperial troops. But after further investigation, their true identities came to light. I dare say you remember Yuyuhasi and Laurentius, the fugitives who conspired with Captain Ilberd in the Crystal Brave's betrayal. Aye, well, it would seem they followed him all the way to the wall. It was they who orchestrated the slaughter of the resistance fighters prior to the Griffin's infernal ritual.
I did wonder what happened to them after the wall.
Were it in your hands, how would you punish these men?
It's difficult to say, because I don't have an impartial view. I was directly affected by what they did. Honestly, though, their actions cost many lives, and I think their lives should be forfeit. But then again, so did Fordola. And Laurentius and Yuyuhase were given all the opportunities to do good and chose not to, whereas Fordola never really was given that choice. I'd say their lives would be forfeit.
Hear, hear. There is no more fitting sentence for the perpetrators of such a massacre, and that is but one of their crimes. In any event, I thank you for your honesty. When the time comes for the Alliance to pass judgment, I'll see that your opinion is heard. Well, that concludes our business here. But there is more I would say. Walk with me.
I would just as soon deliver the killing blow to Laurentius personally. We gave him a second chance, and for what?
I bear a share of the blame for Ilberd's atrocities. Had I openly supported the cause of Alamigan liberation, he might not have felt driven to do what he did. Things could have been different, and I'm sorry they aren't. But even after all that has happened, my homeland is free. With the Scions and the Alliance at their side, my countrymen have reclaimed what many thought lost forever. Under her new leadership, I have every confidence that Alamigo will emerge from the shadow of the Empire and rise once more to greatness. Which means my work here is done. Soon I will return to Ul'dah and take my place at the Sultana's side.
Father,
I'll not deny there's a part of me that wants to stay. The same part that contemplated renouncing my rank and joining you as a wandering sellsword.
The call to adventure is still strong for you, is it, Raoban?
But I pledged my blade to Nanamo, and I will not betray that oath.
is this truly what you want, Father?
It is. Ever has my sword been hers to command, and ever shall it remain. Thank you for lending an ear. When all the rest are clamoring for me to stay, I trust you'll send me on my way.
Oh, Raoban. If only you knew how Nanamo felt. Arenvald's here. I was just on my way to the Saltery. It's lucky I saw you. Arenvald seems flustered. Something's amiss. Oh dear. That took longer than I intended, but at least you know where I stand. Now that's settled. Arenvald, what news? We may have a problem, sir. A group of Ananta has arrived at the main gates, and I don't mean the Vera. These are the Qalyana, the ones that summoned the Primal. They're insisting they be allowed to attend the council. Lisa's trying to reason with them, but she may need help. An invitation was extended to all the native beast tribes, but we assumed the Qalyana would refuse it out of hand. We had best go and see for ourselves. Pippin, take command of our forces and be ready for battle. Foxy, you've dealt with these Qalyana before. I'd have you at my side. I'll be there. Oh boy, and things are going so well. Now the Qalyana have come to cause trouble. Still, they are inhabitants of Girabanya. They should be given a fair shake. Here they are. Foxy, Raoban, God, it's good to see you. Ah, the Slayer has come. We have not forgotten how you sinned against the Lady of Bliss, but we did not come here to shed blood. You claim to seek harmony with all who call Girabanya home. If this is truly your wish, you will welcome us as envoys of the Ananta. It is our wish, and you are welcome, but we cannot condone the summoning of primals. If you want to enter the palace, I must ask you first surrender any crystal jewelry. You have my word that it will be returned to you when the meeting is over. We will do as you ask, but you will not have our weapons. We are not so foolish as to place ourselves entirely at the mercy of our tormentors. I reckon that's the closest we're going to get to a compromise, and we will have the people standing guard. Aye, let them keep their swords. Then we have an agreement. Lead the way to your meeting chamber. Why do I have the feeling we've welcomed a viper into our midst? Things are never so simple. Now what's this gear box that we got? A weapon coffer. Well, I doubt that it's as good as what we have. It's not, but we'll at least look. Oh, that's fancy. How about the shield? Oh, wow. That's actually quite nice. I like that. Use this too, just to... yeah, keep it out of our inventory. Turning the Qalyana away now would have made a mockery of Lisa's promise to give everyone a say. She couldn't not let them in. Yeah, you're right. This Qalyana elder's intentions seem at odds with all we know of her tribe. What think you, Foxy? The enthralled cannot be trusted. We know better than to trust anyone who's been tempered by a primal. Aye, it is said that once a creature has fallen under the sway of a primal, there is no salvation, and I strongly doubt the Qalyana have suddenly broken free of Lakshmi's will. Whatever the truth, I would take no chances. The guards must be strengthened, ideally with people who know a thing or two about primals. Can we rely on the scions? I'll round up our comrades and send them to the Alamegan quarter. You can go on ahead if you like, Foxy. My thanks. I will see you in the palace. Yeah. Oh boy, this is not going to be good. And, minor spoiler alert, this leads to a particularly annoying quest that hopefully will go just fine. I'm going to assume that I'll fail it at least once. Y'shtola! And Thancred! Foxy, I brought reinforcements. Arenvald told me of the arrival of our unexpected guests, and I agree that it would be prudent to call upon Y'shtola and Thancred as well. One can never be too careful when dealing with the enthralled. I sure hope you're up for it, Y'shtola. I'm not familiar with the Qalyana tribe myself, but Alice's report suggested that they shunned contact with other races. Despised it, in fact, even compared to other Ananta. Indeed, this apparent reversal in attitude is most curious. No one expected a response to our invitation, much less an envoy, and I imagine Lise was forced to make some rather hasty arrangements in order to accommodate them. Speaking of which, how should we deploy ourselves? If the meeting is to be held in the throne room, 'twould seem wise to have eyes both inside and outside the palace. Y'shtola and I can stand guard without. That leaves the three of you to keep watch over proceedings in the throne room itself. Understood. We should join General Alden inside then. Foxy, do you know of the rear entrance to the palace? It's on the eastern edge of the city at the top of the stairs. The guard there should have been instructed to let us pass. Well, let's get on with it then. Why we can't just walk in through the front door is beyond me, but hey, you know... game. Leave external security to us, Foxy. I scouted around the palace quite extensively while searching for Kryl, so I know the lay of the land. Very good, Thancred. As fortune would have it, I was visiting Relga's Reach to look in on Alice. She sends her regards. I'm glad you and her are doing better. If we could somehow come to an understanding with the Qalyana, it would represent a great step toward resolving the primal dilemma in Alamigo. I only hope they are sincere in their intentions. And the rear entrance to the palace is just up these steps. The guard should wave us through. Lovely. Well, let's get on with it then. Here with the scions, miss. General Alden left orders that you are to be escorted inside, if you'll follow me.
Thank you all for coming. I am Lise Hext, and I speak for the Resistance. Among you are village elders, refugee leaders, envoys from the Ananta and the Kikern. You've come from every corner of Girabania to help decide the future of Alamigo. But before that, I want to ask you a question. What was the first thing you noticed when you came in? For me, it was that empty throne. It has no one to sit on it now. No viceroy, no king. Would any of you like to take their place? Or should someone else sit there? Then let's sit here in a circle, as equals, and I hope, as friends.
Expertly done. Lys has removed monarchy as a choice early in the game, and positioned them to consider a joint government. All things considered, I would say events have got off to a fine start.
Don't jinx it.
And that is Alagana's stance on the matter.
Thank you, Ragenfrid. Another vote in favor. Next, let's hear from Shanti of the Qalyana. Tell us, how do your people feel about the idea of a republic?
The Ananta wish only that those who dwell within Gir Abania devote themselves to our faith. You shall all worship Sri Lakshmi! Lady of Bliss, grace us once more with your beauteous visage!
This can't be happening. No crystals were allowed through the door.
We can worry about the how of it later. We need to evacuate these people right now, or the Primal will make thralls of them all.
It's up to us.
Well, that's one way to take care of her. Oh, Heidelin. I hope you're ready. We're gonna need your help. Oh dear.
God damn it! The guards were already turned! Fools!
No, you don't!
The Qalyana would see us all enthralled.
Then they're going to be sorely disappointed. We have the Warrior of Light and Arenvald to shield us.
Aye, but they can't well defend your guests and attack the Primal, can they? We're stuck on the back foot.
All right, I think I have an idea. Keep these people safe, General. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Yeah, whatever she's about, she'd best make it quick. Come there. Who will be next to die on my steel?
Alright, Arenvald. How do we fight her without leaving our allies wide open? We can't stay on the back foot forever. No, damn it, if I think like this, we've already lost. I have the Warrior of Light at my side. We can do this. Isn't that right, Foxy? Alright. This quest is not easy. We have to deflect all of her ether spheres.
I offer you peace and serenity.
This is indeed just basically a mini version of her primal encounter. Only this time I don't particularly care if I get hit, I'll be fine. Oh, I got that one. Arenvald, I hope you have those over there. Looks like he does. Come on, get the group of them. Yeah. Arenvald. Get him. Alright, if I leave it in front of a bunch of them, it should get them all. Arenvald's doing a good job over there. Do it, friend.
I shall free you from your hate.
Oh, God. Okay. Wow, this would have been the point where I failed the last time, but apparently not.
Damn it all! It's only a matter of time before we miss one.
What of it? Do you want to kill this thing or not?
I'll take it. I'll be honest, I forgot that they brought Fordola. Arenvald. No, that's Fordola. Fucking running into me with AoEs. At least they know to stack. Oh. Where did she... Stay on your guard. Oh boy, Roban. Oh no. Her presence, it's overwhelming. Get out of there, you guys. What's going on? I can't run away from this. They need us. Then we stand and fight together. Alphino, the envoys are in your care. Surely you do not mean to... Very well, I shall see our guests to safety. Don't be stupid, you two. All of you, to me! I can't read it all. I'm too busy killing. Oh, here come the ether spheres. Oh shit. I can't move. She's going after Lise and Roban. Oh, fuck. Did it. That's the worst. Fuck yeah. And they're free. My thanks, Foxy. I'll make sure my steel is worth the effort. Again and again you refuse my gift.
Do not your souls weigh heavy?
She's building up something big. Come close. I'll shield you all. Nice work, Fordola. You are right, though. This is nothing. It's one thing after another. We have to fight as one. Am I safe here? Oh, yeah. Nah. That would have been easy to miss. Why do you cling to your misery? She's starting to weaken. Don't give up. Her power's out of control. I'll shield us, but you'll have to finish her off. Oh boy. She just won't stop now. Somebody gonna limit break? Lise, I'm looking at you. Quickly! I can't hold her off forever! Come on. Here comes the limit break. There it goes. Fordola should be the one panting on the ground.
We did it! We beat her!
What is this?
I'm only gonna say this once. The Ananta just summoned their primal in the throne room. My friends are fighting her, but they need help. They need someone with the Echo, and by the gods, I wish I had it, but I don't. I told you before that you still had time, but things have changed. I need your answer now. You can end it like Xenos, or you can fight for Alamigo. Your choice.
I think the choice she made is quite clear.
Seven hells. It's her, the Butcher.
It's done. Take me back to my cell.
You are not forgiven. Not you. You I will never forgive. But I will thank you. For standing against a primal and saving us from servitude. You have my thanks.
Well, that's a hell of a thing. That was unlike any battle I've ever seen. I'm not entirely sure how I survived it, to be honest. Arenvald will make a primal killer out of you yet. One wrong step and I would have lost my will to that fiend for the rest of my days. 'Tis a sobering thought. Then why did you hang around? Lisa's certainly living up to her own ideal. Not every commander would choose to enlist a former enemy's aid in battle. I think I shall make a habit of checking for primal influence before our meetings from now on. Good idea. How are you, Thancred? We encountered our fair share of enthralled outside the palace, enough to delay us from lending you a timely hand, I'm afraid. Well, it's not like you could have done much. You would have been just as at risk as the others. Well fought, Foxy. Arenvald. That was a near thing. Aye, a stand against the Qalyana would have been brief indeed had you not volunteered for guard duty. We'd be enthralled as surely as our sentries were. They must have planned this far in advance. Security was my responsibility, and I know how dangerous primals can be. I should have... Ugh, it's my fault. My stupid mistake. Nay, lass, we were all caught unawares. We will take this as a lesson, and watch our own more carefully in the future. You can be sure that the lackeys who smuggled the crystals into the throne room weren't the only thralls in our ranks. The soldiers who first spoke up in favor of the Qalyana keeping their weapons springs to mind. A primal servant is betrayed by his aura. If you mean to conduct an investigation, I can identify any others acting under Sri Lakshmi's influence. Thanks, Y'shtola. We'd appreciate the help. Speaking of help, I almost fell over when Fordola showed up. What was she even doing there? I asked her to come. It was a good choice. Well, that explains it then. It's sad, but Ragnfrid was right. Her victims will never forgive her for what she's done. But I don't think Fordola picked up that sword looking for forgiveness. She wanted to fight for her country. If you say the world in which Fordola grew up is partly to blame for what she became, then as an Alamegan, I feel responsible for improving that world. We can't ignore what's happening right now. We have to show people a better way than vengeance, or we risk giving birth to a new generation of skulls. I know it's idealistic, but I want to help people to let go of their old grievances and make peace with each other. And I'll hold 1,000 meetings and talk till I'm blue in the face if that's what it takes. 'Tis a long and arduous path you have chosen, but one well worth walking. Rest assured that I will do what I can to help you reach your destination. Thank you, Alphino. The first step will be to get our representatives back in the throne room. They're a little shaken, but not one of them seemed ready to run. We're all determined to finish what we started. I will see that you're not interrupted. Foxy, you and the Scions are to stand down. Get some rest. You've earned it.
A fine spot to contemplate the heavens.
Also the spot where Xenos offed himself.
The meeting is over. The envoys have chosen to instate a government model on Ishgard's House of Commons, a ruling body of representatives elected by the people. It is a fair decision, and one which signals the end of my part in all this. But I would gaze upon Girabania's stars one last time before I leave.
Nothing needs to be said. We already know why Nanamo is here.
Forget something? Your Grace, there was no word.
Raubun Aldin, you are hereby dismissed as General of the Immortal Flames and relieved of your seat on the Syndicate.
But, Your Grace...
Raubun, I am no longer a child. Stay here in your homeland. Work with your brethren. Rebuild Alamigo.
You desire to stand alone. I understand, but remember what happened.
I remember full well the consequences of my naivety, and thus did I consult at length with a most trusted advisor ere I embarked upon this course.
A most trusted advisor? And what of me? Am I no longer deserving of your confidence?
What trust can there be between us when you withhold the truth from me? Did you think me oblivious to the anguish in your eyes when you spoke of returning to Uldar? For years and years, we have trusted one another. Yet now you refuse to confess your heart's desire?
I swore an oath to you that day on the sands. I pledged my sword.
And it has served me well. But in Pippin you have forged a new sword, as sharp and deadly as the blade you bequeathed him. I will show you a Sultana who can wield every weapon at her disposal, including Lolorito and his monetarist cronies. So follow your heart, please. You are home. You are free.
Nanamo.
Smile for me, Raubahn. I would have this parting be a joyous one.
Thank you, Your Grace. It has been an honor to serve you and Uldar.
Tomorrow you will serve Alamigo and fight for the good of all Eorzea. Am I understood?
Yes, Your Grace.
And so, General Aldin is general no longer. Now he's just Raubahn of Alamigo. Arenvald is of an age with Fordola, both of them born Alamigan. One never wanted his Garlean blood, and the other tried to become Garlean but never could be. Similar yet opposite, which would go some way to explaining the tension between them. I went to see Fordola in her cell again. She did turn the tide of the battle, after all, and I thought it only right to thank her. But she wouldn't listen, said she neither wanted nor needed my gratitude, and that I should go away. I don't know if I'll ever understand her. Oh, she's just edgy.
Thanks for shielding us from Lakshmi, you two. If you hadn't been there, the rest of us would be worshipping her by now.
You're kind to include me, Lise, but we both know who did most of the work. I could scarce keep track of the battle, let alone land a telling blow.
Look, Arenvald, you took out like half of those orbs.
No shame in admitting it. The Warrior of Light has put far better men than me in the shade.
He sells himself too short.
Did I mention that I encountered the Sultana in the palace? It would seem Her Grace has come to Girabania to oversee the final stages of her relocation project. She was in search of General Aldin, and I directed her to the rooftop garden. I do hope he was still there.
Are you in the habit of gossiping about the affairs of royalty, Master Leveilleur?
Certainly not, Your Grace. I was merely informing my companions.
Be at ease, Alphino. 'Twas only a jest.
She's adorable.
But I must yield the floor to Raubahn. He has an important announcement to make.
As of yesternight, I have been relieved of my post in the Immortal Flames and the Syndicate both.
I shall be assuming my father's duties. And may I say that Tizona has never felt heavier upon my back.
Twould seem I am in need of employment. Mayhap one of my old acquaintances can introduce me to a mercenary company or some such.
You may be getting on in years, father, but you'd struggle to find a band of sellswords who wouldn't snap your hand off. Your remaining hand.
Jeez, Pippin. Salt in that wound.
Yes, the bull of Alamigo need not be put out to pasture just yet.
Your Grace has developed a wicked edge to her humor, and you, Pippin, would do well not to laugh when the future may hold the same for you.
So, does this mean you're staying?
Aye. That seems to be the way of it. I would be glad to aid you in rebuilding our nation, if you'll have me.
If, he says. Welcome home, Raoban.
Well, that was unexpected, though you seem distinctly unsurprised. Either you are more astute than I give you credit for, or I'm losing my touch. In any event, one thing is certain. Alamigo will rejoice at the homecoming of her dearest son.
Indeed. The legend returns. Welcome home, Bull of Alamigo. I think it's about time I headed back to Ralga's Reach. What's next for all of you? Alice will be eager to hear of recent events, so I shall join you if you've no objections. I'd welcome the company. Foxy, why don't you come along to the Reach as well once you said your farewells to Nanamo and the others? I think I'll do just that. Oh yes, and we can also go to the Royal Menagerie whenever we want to. Raoban, it seems my road has come full circle. I appreciate the support you showed for my earlier decision, overruled though it was. Nanamo. I have asked enough of you, Foxy. My only words for you now are those of gratitude. Pippin. I must assume Father's responsibilities without delay, lest our rivals, both inside and outside Ul'dah, treat his dismissal as a window of opportunity. Rest assured they will find Tizona's edge just as sharp in my hands. And I have no doubt. Well, let's get back to the Reach then. Nago! Oh, we said this already. Well, here we are again. Alphino has regaled me with a thrilling tale of hidden treasure troves, mid-meeting betrayals, unlikely alliances, and joyous homecomings. It would seem I missed everything. I was patrolling the palace grounds with Thancred and Y'shtola when we heard the reports of a primal in the throne room. I honestly doubted my own ears. As others have said, we were lucky to have our echo-blessed companions nearby this time, but we'll need to keep a closer eye on the Qalyana. You can say that again. This whole episode has reminded me of just how far apart our kinds still are. It looks like centuries of fear and mistrust really can't be washed away in a day. But someone has to make an effort at reconciliation if these conflicts are ever going to end. Naturally, a lot of people are crying out for vengeance, but I've been doing my best to calm things down. Violent reprisals will only lead to more summonings. Indeed, Violence will ever beget violence, as the Empire has learned to its cost in recent times. In any case, summoning Lakshmi was the Broodmother's doing, and whoever replaces her may not be so keen on the idea. We'll just have to watch and wait. Which isn't to say we won't be putting the safety of our allies in the Vira and M tribes first. I plan to have Resistance scouts keep track of the Qalyana's movements at all times. My parents will be relieved to hear that. What are your plans for the rest of the Resistance army out of interest? Are we to prepare for Imperial counterattacks? That would be a question for the Resistance's newest recruit, a military commander with far more experience than me. What? The Bull of Alamigo? We call it an army, but the Resistance is really a collection of smaller independent groups. And when Conrad passed his command on to me, that authority only extended to the freedom fighters based in Ralga's Reach. He just happened to be serving as the Resistance spokesman at the time, and needed someone to take over the role while everything was in disarray, but that time has passed. When I speak with the other leaders about reforming the army under the new government, I'll be nominating Rauban as the overall commander of our forces. He has more experience than the rest of us put together, and we stand to learn a lot from him. Indeed, he is in all respects the ideal choice. Assuming he accepts the post, Alamigo will have added a formidable weapon to its arsenal. And given the progress of Nanamo's resettlement initiative, I see great cause for hope. The seeds which we so carefully sowed have begun to quicken, my friends. I like that. We tend to our promises and watch as Alamigo blooms. So we do. I do give thanks to the Kami that my makeshift raft withstood the fury of the seas. But there their generosity ended. Without coins in our pocket for new attire, we are doomed to look like so much jetsam. Oh, woe betide the poor man in a city of rich merchants. These dango are delicious. Will you have one? More sweetbreads. I surrendered my blade to secure what few coins we have. Ah, 'tis like talking to a child. Why fate saddled me with this burden I shall never know, but I am alive, and I must return to my master's side. Come, Suyu. We shall find a ship to carry us across the Ruby Sea. What is the story with that? Meanwhile, in the Imperial Palace. Have you read the reports? First Doma, then Alamigo, and Lord Xenos put to the sword. Do not believe everything you read. I heard the Viceroy was merely wounded, and that he has already returned to the capital. Naturally, the savages beat their chests and boast loudly of taking his head regardless. Nay, Lord Xenos lives? Deplorable that our own officers should be fooled by Eorzean misinformation. Small wonder the provinces have begun rising up in rebellion. We must prepare an official and above all accurate announcement to quell these pernicious rumors. They would wage war with empty words. Let them produce the Viceroy's remains then. We shall soon put the lie to their claims. Wow. That's that then. We've already seen that Lord Varys was not pleased with the body that Elidibus has taken. Could this have a connection? We'll find out in the next episode. This episode's run on a little bit long, that much is true, but we had to get through this last bit of content for this patch, and we'll get right back into it in the next one. So, in the meantime, my name is Foxy Games. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.